Welcome to the Sports Rap Podcast Show. I'm Gilbert Gonzalez, and with me is my dad. Hello, Dad.
Hello, how are you?
Pretty good.
Good.
And Vinny can't be joining us today because he's at work.
Vinny's at work right now, but he does wish he was here, obviously. He would rather be here than work.
Okay. Sorry for last week's show, guys, that we didn't get a chance to do one.
It was my fault. I was under the weather. I had told you my voice was totally bad. So I just did not want to be on the mic. I didn't want to be near you guys at all. But I'm better now.
Oh, okay. Well, for me, school burnt
You were
me out.
just burned out, yeah.
Yeah. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Obviously, the World Series for the Nationals winning against the Houston Astros. Another one is Embiid and Karl-Anthony Towns getting suspended for 2 games. Also, Steph Curry is out for 3 months. What does this mean for the Warriors for the rest of the season? He could be back by maybe after the All-Star break. Who knows? And then Frisco and New England still undefeated. The power rankings and just our weekly pick'ems, I guess you could say.
Right.
But first, we start off with yesterday's Game 7 World Series. The Nationals won 6-2.
6-2. Yeah, what a game it was. I mean, they went all both on both sides. The Astros were it looked like the Astros were going to win. I mean, they went all the way up to the 7th inning where Greinke was just dominant. He was just pitching such a great game, and I think he did allow a home run, which made, because they were up 2-0 in the 7th inning. He allowed a home run to Rendon, which made it 2-1, and then he walked Soto, which was the batter following Rendon. And after that, that's when A.J. Hinch came out and took Greinke out. And he was only at that point, he was only at 79, 80 pitches in the 7th inning. So he was doing great. I mean, great. Puts in Will Harris, allows a 2-run bomb, which actually made the score 3-2, and then that's when the Nationals just opened it up in the next couple of innings. But this is the first series, we were talking about it earlier, that this is the first time in, I guess, the 3 major sports.
Yeah, besides football.
Yeah, besides football, that a team wins every single game on the road. That was amazing. That's just amazing. I mean, the hardest thing to do, and they end up doing it on the road.
Yeah, and it's a very tough place to play at, Houston. Obviously, we've seen Houston kind of obliterated teams year after year after year since they made the postseason at home. So it's a good thing that I'm guessing we all wanted the Nationals, the underdogs, to win this one, because certainly for me, I did, because I just don't like the Astros and the Yankees.
Yeah,
so
Houston was looked at as like baseball's next dynasty, because the Yankees had their time in the 90s and the 2000s, and they were talking about Houston being, because they were in the last couple World Series in these past couple years.
Right. And
yeah, I think most people were looking at the Nationals, being that they were the underdog, that they would be the ones to break that dynasty curse. But kudos to Washington. They played a good series, and even the Astros kept it. They were down 2-0. They were down 2-0, won 3 in a row in Washington. That's tough. And just to go home and just to lose both games on, so. But the MVP to Steven Strasburg, he pitched a great series. He had 2 victories in the World Series. Struck out 14. They couldn't ask for more than what he gave them. He gave them such great pitching. And just the hitting itself, the Washington bats, and they always came alive. I noticed that the Washington Nationals bats always came alive in the later innings. You'd be watching it. If you were a Nationals fan, I feel sorry for those people, because they would be having little heart attacks, like during the first 6, 7 innings, and then they'd be like, "Come on," and then all cool after the 7th, 8th inning. That's when they really turn it up. So congratulations to the Nationals.
Yeah. So what do you think about Bryce Harper? I mean, he didn't even get to re-sign with the team.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? I mean, the Phillies were close. We were talking about them earlier in our recent other shows where we said that they were up there. Most of the year they were a contender. They just need to fill the pieces for Phillies, and I'm pretty sure Bryce will get a ring with the Phillies. But you know what? I know what you mean. Like the first season that he leaves, they end up winning a title. Yeah. So I mean, he must feel bad. I mean, it's just human nature that you tend to feel bad. But I'm pretty sure like he has friends still in the Washington Nationals,
Right.
and he'll probably congratulating them. He's a good dude. I think, but it's just too bad that it went down like that. So.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll transition from baseball to basketball with some news. Joel Embiid and Karl Anthony Towns got suspended for 2 games. The thing that actually kind of like shocked me was that Ben Simmons didn't even get suspended or at least fined, because clearly you could see in the videos, if you guys haven't seen it, when Embiid and Karl Anthony Towns were kind of fighting, I guess. Ben Simmons was trying to break up the fight, but he ended up pulling Karl Anthony Towns. And once they got to the floor, you could actually see Ben Simmons' right arm underneath Karl Anthony Towns' chin, and kind of putting him in like a chokehold.
Okay, I looked at it different. I look at it different, bro. And I actually am agreeing with, because I'm pretty sure the NBA took a good look at this, at the video.
Right.
I mean, I would have to think that they did, right? They did good, Junior. They actually did good, in my opinion, by not suspending Ben Simmons. Let me tell you why. What I saw was exactly what you said. Embiid and Towns went at it.
Mm-hmm.
Towns was on the floor, belly down, back up, Yes, Simmons was on top of him, but if you notice, when he has the chokehold on him, he has his hand on the floor, like this, like a position, like where he has him around the neck and his hands on the floor. So it's not really a closed chokehold.
Right.
And I actually read his lips. He was saying, "Anthony, calm down.
Right.
Calm down." So I feel that Simmons did not deserve to get suspended. I think the NBA got that right.
Okay. Another thing is that if let's just say, let's just give a scenario where, I mean, obviously the teams in the Eastern Conference, they're like what, 3 good teams: Milwaukee, Philly, and the Celtics. Okay. Obviously a lot of experts, they're picking Philly as the number 1 seed. Okay.
Well, if you remember the last show, I picked them to go to the finals.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
You did. But let's just say, okay, these 2 games that Joel Embiid gets suspended, do you think it could cause a butterfly effect? Meaning he gets suspended for the next 2 games, and the next 2 games they go against Phoenix, and then I think they go against Portland after. Okay. Can at least one of those 2 games cost them from potentially reaching the number 1 seed?
You know what? Embiid has missed so many games in his career, so I don't really see it being like what you're saying, a butterfly effect, because they're so used to playing without him. Philly has always played without him. He does play, but really, when has he ever played a full year? Or there have been a lot of times where he's missed a lot of games, actually, or they've sat him. But I understand what you're saying. I think it's the situation, right? Like you're saying, like the actual suspension. Yeah, it could get into the players' minds. But if that does happen, the full blame is on Embiid. If you see the video, I'm not sure how far you saw it, if you saw the whole thing. He's been like this since he's been in the league. He's very immature, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. He's like the most immature player in the NBA right now. He's got to grow up. He's got to do some growing up, because everything's a big joke to him. Everything's a big joke to him. I remember there was another situation a few years back, maybe last year, and I think he made a joke out of it. I forgot what the situation was, but he had just got into a fight, which he got ejected from. He's going to get a suspension. And what does he do? He gets fined. He's going to get fined. And what does he do when he goes to the bench? Starts laughing, making fight gestures with his friends, with his teammates, saying like, "Hey, give me a high five. I just I just went 3 rounds with Karl Anthony Towns. What's he doing? And Anthony Towns, he's a veteran. He's young, but he's in my eyes, he's an NBA veteran. He's been in the league for a couple of years now, and he just walks to the bench, puts his head down. He knows he let his team down. He's like, man, I messed up, guys. I'm sorry. He's got that kind of an attitude. But seeing Embiid with that ridiculous smile on his face, flexing, I'm surprised he didn't kiss his biceps. But that's where he was going toward. That's ridiculous. That should not happen. That should not happen in the NBA, dude. When you're a professional, and he's done it on more than one occasion. I'm just not liking that. He's got some growing up to do.
Yeah, and then just one last thing before we move on to the next one. Like even Al Horford said that like these guys are kids, but there ain't no time and place to be doing that right now because you could actually cost the team some wins on your suspension.
Yeah,
I said, the butterfly effect.
Yeah, and look at Al Horford. He's a major veteran, so he knows he's playing with these kids. Yeah, you're right. He's right. These guys just. You're right. I mean, he's been in the league and he's experienced. I'm sure he's experienced a lot of this, so he's speaking straight from experience. I'm noticing that Miami's been doing pretty good, huh?
Oh yeah, they got actually the rookie. I think his name was Tyler Harrow. I think that's his name. During the past few games, he's been averaging some good, solid numbers as a rookie.
All right,
and potentially he could win Rookie of the Year. Entering the league, he was 50-1.
Wow. Is he he's a starter?
He's a starter, I think.
Oh. If all of you, the reason why I'm asking, I know I should be more involved in basketball, but those of you who are listening, I've decided to boycott basketball this year, not have anything to do with it because I just don't like the idea of these super teams. So that's why I'm kind of surprised. I would have known this rookie that Junior's talking about, but just to explain to all you guys, I am not liking basketball right now. So,
all right. Another news that just came out probably a couple days ago. Steph Curry out for 3 months with a wrist injury. It was during I think they were playing against the Suns, and Curry was trying to go for a layup inside the paint, and Aaron Baines, I guess, kind of like tripped him up, fouled him or something. As Curry was on the air, of course, he was trying to land.
I read he fell on his hand, right?
Fell on his hand, okay. Aaron Baines. And now he's out for 3 months. Possibly he could, project. I'm just projecting this. Like right now we're in November. And we got December, January, and then February.
That's about All-Star break.
Yeah. So he might come back then. We don't know the record without these guys. I mean, the Warriors don't have Klay Thompson, and they don't have Steph Curry.
Yeah, we've never seen the Golden State Warriors in such danger, so to speak. There's always been at least one of the three, one of the triple threats.
Right.
Which, in my opinion, the triple threat was Curry, Draymond, and Klay Thompson. Mm-hmm. Durant, he came along and made it a quadruple threat. But we've never seen the Warriors play without at least two of them, Now we're going to see them play without all of them, except for one, which is Draymond Green. You know what? You were asking that, is this the end of the dynasty? Is this going to be the end of the dynasty? You know what, Gil, I'm going to tell you something. First 4 games of the season, I know it's a little soon, but I'm looking at them, and even if Steph is healthy, this is the end of the dynasty. They're 1-3, bro. And when I have to say that Phoenix is better than them, they got problems. Phoenix Suns are 3-2. They have a better record than the Golden State Warriors. There's problems. And now they're going to miss Steph Curry. I mean, who do they have? Who do they have that can potentially carry this team besides Draymond? You would know. You're watching it.
Yeah, probably D'Angelo Russell. I mean,
I forgot they had D'Angelo Russell. You're right. He's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So they got D'Angelo Russell and Draymond. You know what? I think they're going to be okay. I think they'll be okay. I completely forgot about D'Angelo. Who's their center? Who's playing center for them? Is he a rookie or do they got a veteran?
No, they have I think like a year or two guy. I don't know. I gotta check. But without without Curry, of course D'Angelo Russell carried
here we
the
go.
Nets.
Willie Cauley-Stein. They got Willie Cauley-Stein.
Oh, okay.
And Kevin Looney. Looney. You know what? Their team doesn't look too bad. Their team doesn't look too bad. I was kind of wrong with them. Draymond Green, they got Alec Burke.
Okay, pretty
Okay, he's been. I mean,
but can that roster without Curry?
no, I don't think the roster would serve. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking
back in the day Warriors or like
No,
the way how they
I
were.
think-
No,
I
no,
think-
no, not
I-
like Baron Davis Warriors. I'm talking about like the first year when they had the lockout when we had when
no,
they had,
because that was when they had Hardaway and Mullins. You can't compare that team to. Oh, you're talking about the lockout with
In
San
11,
Antonio won.
no when the Heat won that year.
Okay, the Heat won that year.
Yeah.
Okay.
That lockout.
Yes, it might be.
Like
They
that
might
looked
go
dis-
500.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
looking at a 500 record. Yeah, this team. I'm talking about the whole season. Even when Curry comes back, they're gonna finish at 500.
But do they think they make the playoffs?
No, they don't. I
Not
don't
even
think.
the 8th spot.
No, I don't think so. The West is too good for them to make it with a 500 record. No, the West is too good to make it with a 500 record, in my opinion. I mean, right now they're up on San Antonio, but it's only the first quarter.
I know. Right now they're where are they at? Warriors 11. So right now ahead of them are the Blazers, the Suns, the Rockets, the Nuggets, the Clippers. So on and so forth. Okay, you got the Mavericks up there, and then you got the Jazz that are up there. We have. Well, it's hard now. I mean, I don't know about the Suns, but besides them, I mean, you still got the Mavericks. You still got
Yeah, the
Timberwolves,
Suns
you still
will
got-
drop. I agree with you on that. The Suns will drop. But look at what you have. You have the Rockets, Blazers, Nuggets. No, it's
too hard.
It's going to be tough. And then you got the Pelicans right behind them. I mean, I'm not too fancy about the Grizzlies, but the Pelicans, I do see a lot of potential in them, especially when Zion comes back.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like they might jump over the Warriors. So they have a lot of work to do, especially with these 3 months that they're going to miss their star point guard.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna just want to talk about for one last thing. I'm gonna add it on here as well. Okay, so obviously a few weeks back when the season opener started, of course it was the Lakers and the Clippers. And Kawhi scored 30 points while LeBron scored 18, but he still averaged about like 37% from the field. He was 37% for the field on that game.
Who, LeBron?
LeBron.
Okay.
Okay. Do you feel? I feel like the Clippers have the better roster overall. I think they have a better roster than the Lakers, even though that, I mean, they have AD and LeBron. Those are the two maybe top 5 guys in the NBA. Okay. But to me, I was talking to this with Anthony actually yesterday when I got home, that he was just like, I just don't understand why people are all over the Lakers right now, the Lakers roster, because the Lakers roster's big 3 is pretty much Kuzma, LeBron, and AD.
Right.
While the Clippers, they have more than a big 3. You have Williams, you have Patrick Beverly as a great perimeter defensive player, and then you got the best two-way players, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. The best two-way players since probably, I don't know, you could name anybody back in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah, I see more than in my opinion right now, Junior. You're bringing it up right now. I see way more than 3 defensive players. You're talking about Patrick Beverly. Yes, he's one of the greatest, and you got the greatest two-way players in our opinions. That's correct. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. You got Montrezl Harrell. He's actually stepped up these past 2 seasons as a defender. And then JaMychal Green coming from Memphis to the Clippers. That's a good pickup, and he's also a defensive player. Even when I'm looking at the roster here, even Patrick Patterson, he came from OKC. He had some good defensive games. So I think what the Clippers are and Doc Rivers are focusing on is their defense. And you're right. I don't understand why everybody's all over the Lakers, and I agree with you when you say that the Clippers have a much better looking roster. I mean, the game that you brought up with LeBron and when he was shooting for 30-something% from the field.
Mm-hmm. The first game.
You know what? I've been hearing a lot about his age. Not necessarily his age. He's only 34 years old. I mean, he's still up there. But you're talking about a guy who's spent 16 seasons in the NBA already, and he's, age might be catching up to him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the same player. He doesn't move as agile as he used to. Those old legs, and but I think he'll become the old LeBron soon. But he just has to get those legs hot. Because it takes a couple games.
Yeah.
To get you going.
I mean, to him, it doesn't matter which seed they're in. Like we saw that with, I think it was no, maybe like 2 years ago, because I remember last year he went with the Lakers. 2 years ago, they ended up getting the 4th spot when he was with the Cavs, and still made it all the way to the finals.
Yeah, he knows what time it is when the playoffs start. He knows when to light it up, when to turn it on. That's one thing about LeBron that I would, I don't get me wrong. When I watched the NBA, which was only a season ago, and before that, I was, we all know I was a Kobe hater, but I loved Kobe
Mm-hmm.
when he retired. Oh my God, it was very sad for me because I've watched him for 19 years. Same thing with LeBron for me. I hate him because he's damn good.
Mm-hmm.
I hate LeBron, but he's a great player. So I got to give him his due when it's done. And he knows, like in the playoffs, that's when he turns it on. Or when they need a win, you can always count on him. You can always count on LeBron. So I feel that he's still the same, regardless of how old. And you just got to be patient with him.
Okay. All right. All right. So let's just move this from basketball to football. New England and San Francisco are both undefeated right now. Right now, Frisco's 9-0, right? They're 9-0.
No, they're 8-0.
Oh, okay, because of the bye.
They had their bye.
Okay, 8-0. New England's looking for a 9-0. But let's just talk about this right now before this Sunday matchup. Okay, which undefeated team between the two would fold first of their first loss? Okay. Taking a look at their schedule, New England, they have the Ravens. Okay, then you said they have the bye, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so the Patriots have the Ravens, then the bye, and then they get the Eagles, right?
That's right.
They get the Eagles, and then the Cowboys, then the Texans, and then the Chiefs, then Bengals, and I think they go with the Bills, the Dolphins, and they end it with the. That's it, huh? Just ended with the Dolphins, right?
Yeah, they end with the Dolphins.
Okay. So there's that matchup. And then we got Frisco's 49ers schedule. They ended up getting Arizona yesterday, of course. And then they're going to go to Seattle. Or is it at, let me see here. Oh, no. Okay, they're at home still. So they got Seattle, and then they got the Cardinals again. Then they got the Packers, the Ravens, the Saints, and then the Falcons. And I think that's about it. Or am I missing one? I think
No,
I'm missing
you're
one.
still missing. They got the Saints. Then you said
The Falcons.
And then they have the Rams again.
Then they got the
Rams, and then they end the season against the Seahawks again.
Okay. So which team, in your opinion, folds first?
Well, I think the only game that I feel that is going to be cause to the Patriots some problems from their remaining schedule is the Ravens this coming Sunday. I don't see us losing to the Ravens though, but I think that's the most probable that compared to the rest of their schedule. I think that's the one that gets the closest to where I feel like they're going to have some problems. Now, on the other hand, the Niners, they struggled against the Cardinals. I don't know if you can call it a struggle. They dominated the game. And then at the end, their defense got lazy. And the Cardinals started scoring all these unanswered points. And that's been a thing with them. That's been kind of like their Achilles heel. They get off to a good start, and then they tend to fold a little bit. Well, except for Carolina, except for last week, the week before versus Carolina, because they won that game 51-13. But to have the Niners, because they play Seattle next, and then they have Arizona. I see the only trouble that they're gonna have is Green Bay. I don't see them winning against Green Bay, and that's gonna be on the 11th week of the season. I think that's in the 11th week. Let me double check. No, that's the Cardinals.
10, 11, 12.
That's the Cardinals. So that's week 12. Week 12. So I think if the Patriots get past the Ravens this weekend, okay, and it's in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
We don't play very well in Baltimore. But if we get past this weekend, then I feel like we don't lose. We don't lose.
So do you think we might go undefeated?
I think so. I think they will go. No, I mean, no.
I know that, but
it's 16-0. I think they'll go 16. I'm not gonna say that we're gonna win the Super Bowl.
No, but like
I think they can if they get past Baltimore, because according to their schedule, I mean, even Buffalo's a little hard, but we've beaten them.
Yeah.
The only reason why you're probably wondering, hey, we got KC. We've beaten them. We've beaten them with Mahomes. We've beaten them with Mahomes at his best. We've beaten him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Patriots have beaten them. The only one that I'm concerned about is Lamar Jackson. I am concerned about Lamar Jackson. We always struggle against him. He gets some good games against us. And Bill Belichick is usually pretty good with rookie quarterbacks and second-year quarterbacks. He hasn't figured out Lamar Jackson yet.
What about actually Deshaun Watson? The way how he's been playing the past couple of weeks has been like really great. Do you think Deshaun has a chance to finally able to get his first win against Brady?
The only reason why I don't see Deshaun Watson, I agree with you 100%. He's played fantastic, and I know they're protecting him
More.
better.
Mm-hmm.
They're protecting him better than they were in the beginning of this year. It was this year. Remember, it was this year that he was getting tossed.
Yeah.
Okay, the beginning of the season. Then they adjusted. They did something different, and it's working for them now. The only thing is that when they're playing the competition that they've had so far, it's not to the Patriots' caliber. You know what I mean? Their defense is so much better than the defenses that they've played. So, and Houston hasn't really dominated a game. They haven't dominated. It's been pretty close with everybody who they've beaten, but they've beaten them.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see them. You can't do that with this Patriots defense. You can't do that. I mean, you gotta either dominate or nothing. That's it. And I don't see them dominating this defense. So, no. I mean, I'm sorry. I do like Deshaun Watson, but not against the Patriots. I don't. I feel we've, like I said, we've beaten Mahomes at his best. The only one that might give us a problem besides Baltimore, I think Buffalo, because we barely beat them. And I feel that, you know, they play us super good. Every time they play the Patriots, it's like their Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So I feel like we might struggle a little bit against Buffalo, but I don't see us losing. Only if we beat Baltimore this week. If we don't beat Baltimore, that's going to be our only loss.
Okay. All right, so let's just put it like this. Since we're only halfway into the season right now, and we're already halfway into the season, so let's just me and you, who makes the playoffs, okay? Let's start with the AFC, all right? So obviously the number 1 seed, we both agree it's New England, right?
I agree. Yes, they would. Since I'm making them like undefeated, yeah, they would be the 1 seed.
Okay, so for who would be the number 2 seed?
The number 2 seed, I'm looking at Baltimore. I've kept them up there, so I'm really looking at Baltimore and the Patriots being the buys, having the bye weeks, and from there I'm going with Indy the 3, Buffalo the 4, and then I guess it's 2 wild cards from there.
Wait, Buffalo has to be in the wild card. So you have the Patriots 1, Ravens
Oh, I'm sorry.
2.
Yeah, because I have the Patriots. So Patriots 1, Baltimore 2. Okay. Then I have Indy the 3. And the KC would have to be the 4th. But you know what? The Raiders are creeping up. The Raiders are creeping up, and KC's got to. No, you know what? Hell no. I feel KC can do it, even with Matt Moore. I'm gonna give them the 4 spot. I'm gonna give them the 4 spot, KC, and I'm going Buffalo and Houston as the 5 and 6. Yeah, the 5 and 6.
Okay. Well, first for me, it's New England. Number 2, I actually have the Texans in that one. Texans at 2, Ravens at 3. Ravens at 3, Chiefs at 4, and then I'm gonna put the Bills at 5. And
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't know if I should.
The Browns are not coming back.
I want to take a look at their schedule. I want to see who they got. Okay. So this week they got Denver. Okay, no Flacco. Okay, they got this guy named Brandon Allen. I don't know who the hell that quarterback is.
Brandon Allen, okay.
But we've seen the Browns defense kind of like murder backup quarterbacks, as we saw with the Monday night game against the Jets.
Yeah, but their offense is just so.
I know they can't click.
They cannot just get it together.
I know. But okay, so between the two, who would you go? The Browns or Broncos?
Let's see their top. Let me read me their 5. Their next 5 opponents.
Okay, so they got Broncos. Okay, then they go against the Bills. Then they go against the Steelers. Then they go against Dolphins, and then they go to the Steelers.
Wow.
So they have Steelers twice. You got Miami.
I got them at 4-1.
Okay, 4-1. So that would make it.
Yeah, they'd be 6 and 6.
Okay,
they'd be 6 and 6 by week 12.
Okay. So now their next games after that Steelers, okay, you got the Bengals, then you got the Cardinals, the Ravens, and then the Bengals. They end it at Cincinnati.
3-1. So 9 and 7.
Yes.
9 and 7. Is that good enough to make the wild card in the AFC East? You got the Colts out there. You haven't put the Colts in.
That's true.
Okay. I like the Colts. If I was you, if I was doing your picks from what you've picked, I would stay away from Cleveland, dude. I think give them another year. I think I like the Colts.
Okay, but hold up. T.Y. Hilton's out for 3 to 4 weeks.
Yes, he is. But
okay,
you know what?
I know the run game is great. Their defense has been in the top 5, top 8, top 10 in the whole month of October. So entering this month, that defense for the past 4 weeks have been in top 10s in almost every category.
You know what? Another thing is they've played without T.Y. this season, and Brissett has been really good with utilizing his receivers, Pascal and Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 receivers could make up for
Hilton's
absence, and don't forget Doyle and Ebron. He's got a full staff, bro.
Yeah.
So that's not gonna hurt him, because sometimes even when Ty is healthy, he's obsolete. I know. I should know. I have him on my fantasy team, so I know. Yeah. Sometimes he is obsolete. So I would like I said, I like Indy according to your numbers, but who do you got as your 6th pick?
I want to go with the Browns.
You're going to do it.
I knew it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go with the Browns, and they make it as the wild card team.
Okay.
I don't know. Just like the way how their schedules run. Like, you're at Denver, then you're back home.
No, their schedule is good.
Yeah.
It is good.
Yeah.
But I think Indy. Bro. But
the game that's probably 50-50 to me is probably the Bills. The reason why is because...
Well, I have them losing against the Bills.
I know, that's why. I mean, to me, I want them to win,
right.
But that's the game where it's probably 50-50.
That's the one that's going to make or break.
Yeah, pretty much. And, I mean, they beat the Ravens at Baltimore.
Yeah.
Okay? The Bengals, I know they can be because they have no offense.
Right.
And their defense is really bad.
Right.
Okay?
Pittsburgh's got nothing right now.
Exactly. They haven't got nothing. Besides that Monday night game.
Yeah, but it was against Miami.
Yeah. That's my excuse. It was against Miami.
Yeah, if they were to play Miami every day, then they'd be awesome.
Besides that, they were down 14-0.
Yes, they were. They were down 14-0.
Against a team that was tanking.
Yes.
Okay? So then they revved it up in the second half. They scored 27 unanswered points in the second half. So I mean,
Yeah.
you can't really do that. Against your own division rival.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And then the Cardinals, their defense is pretty bad. But yeah.
And Cincinnati's just horrible everywhere.
Yeah.
And they have them twice, right?
Yeah.
They still have them twice, so that's 2 wins right there guaranteed.
Yeah. So that's why I'm gonna pick the Browns
All
as
right.
the 6th spot.
All right.
I think Vinny could be right, but instead of winning the division, and even the Ravens, you know that the Ravens could fall apart too at the very end.
I don't know. I have them as my 2. You know, I have them high up there. I don't feel the Ravens are gonna fall. I feel like they're
so
just.
here, I'll show
Give
you
me the
who we
next
got.
5 for Ravens.
Okay, so the Ravens got New England. Okay. Got New England. Then they go against Cincinnati.
Okay.
Okay. After that, they go against the Texans.
All right.
Then they got the Rams, and then they got the Niners.
Okay. Okay, yeah. If it's 50-50 for me against New England, bro. It is. I like the way the Baltimore Ravens play. Cincinnati is, of course, the win. Houston, that one's kind of 50-50, but going toward Houston. And then you said they got the Rams.
They got the Rams after Houston.
And then after the Rams, they have Frisco.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they might go 2-3 right there.
Okay, what about the Bills? That's after the Ravens.
Mm-hmm. You mean after Frisco, right?
After Frisco, they got the Bills, and then they got the Jets, and then I think that's when they got Browns, and they ended with Steelers.
Yeah, that's 3-1 right there. I got them. That's 3-1, so that's 10.
6.
6. Yeah, 6. So that's 11. Yeah, they're gonna be all right. I think they'll be okay. That's in my opinion. I know you have a different opinion, but I got them 11. I mean, they're second in points in the league. You know, they're scoring over 30 points a game, 434 yards a game. You know, their rushing is ridiculous. They lead the AFC, 204 rushing yards a game.
Mm-hmm.
That's not gonna fall apart. I don't think they're gonna fall apart that bad.
Okay.
Yeah, they could though. I'm not counting them out. They could, but you told me to pick right now.
Yeah,
that
would
would be my pick. That would be my pick.
All right, let's head over to the NFC side. Obviously the number 1 picks. But do you think Frisco could be the number 1 pick? I mean,
No.
their schedule's
No.
okay.
I have
The number 1 seed, my bad, not the number 1 pick.
the number 1 seed I have is Green Bay, and I have them number 1 only because they're gonna beat Frisco, and they'll probably end up with the same record.
I do have them in the playoffs. Okay, I do have, you know, I think that I do have them in the bye. Okay,
Frisco.
No, not Frisco.
Yeah, Green Bay.
I mean, look in the looks of it, they're like Seattle's only 2 games behind.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. This is who I have. Okay. I have Green Bay 1. I have the Saints 2.
Okay.
Green Bay and the Saints 2. I have Frisco winning the division. I do.
Okay.
They're 3. And then I have, surprisingly, I'm not going with Dallas. I'm going to stick with Philly. I got Philly at number 1 in the NFC East, but I got them at 4th.
Okay.
Okay?
Wait a minute. In the beginning, you picked the Cowboys too.
I did pick the Cowboys.
Okay.
I did pick the Cowboys, but that's why I said surprisingly, I'm going to make the jump to Philly. Philly's been playing like super, super good lately. So I'm going to stick with Philly at 4. And then I have Seattle at 5, and then the Cowboys at 6. I don't have the Rams in the playoffs.
You don't even have the Vikings either.
I don't have the Vikings in the playoffs.
It's all time.
I feel they're gonna. I think they have the more of a tendency to fall apart. They've been. I don't know, Kirk Cousins. You know, I like him. He's been great these past 3 weeks, but I noticed they went back to a little bit back in their old ways in the last game.
Against the Redskins, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if maybe because they had a lead. Obviously, you know, they're going to keep that lead by running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so those are my picks. If anything, I would put them in as like an alternate, so to speak. If the Cowboys were to blow it, then I would put the Vikings in.
Yeah, because we're just doing this mid-season
Right.
until the very end. That's when it gets closer to the playoff pictures.
Right.
Then we'll make the final
Right.
a
But
final game.
I do not have the Rams at this point in the playoffs.
Okay, so for me, um, you know what? YOLO. I'll put the Niners at 1. I'll put the Niners at 1, even though they do have a tough schedule. Um, I think they do lose to Green Bay. Okay. I
I think
think
they
they
lose
lose
to the
3 games.
Saints. They're gonna lose to the Saints.
I know, but I think they lose 3 games.
Hmm.
I think they'll be 13-3.
13-3.
Yeah. I have them at 1. I'll put Green Bay at 2. Because first of all, I did tell Sebastian. Because Sebastian told me, "Do you think Green Bay is gonna make it?" And we're like,
If
yeah,
they,
they're gonna
but
make
if
it.
they, so that means that you have Green Bay finishing worse than 13-3. You have them at 12-4.
I have them at 12-4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you have Green Bay winning them, right?
Yes.
But you have them at 12-4. Okay.
Okay. So that the Green Bay would be my second. Third, I think the Saints would be third. Fourth, I'm gonna stick with Philly. I did pick Philly in the beginning.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Philly. Fifth, I have Seattle. I think Seattle. I think I have Seattle.
They win. Yeah,
I know,
they
do-
win.
I know. I know.
That
but
dude's a winner.
It's hard. Like
Russell Wilson's a winner, dude. You
Yes.
can't
I'm not
you
gonna
can't
exclude them out.
exclude him. Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
exclude him out of the playoffs.
Okay. I have him my fifth, and then my sixth would probably be. Fuck, the only team that I see only good enough is probably the Cowboys.
So you don't
I don't
believe in the
see- I don't
Vikings
believe
either?
in the
You won't
Vikings.
put the Vikings in? What about the Detroit Lions?
I don't believe in them either. Sorry, Andy. No carry on, and only Matthew Stafford's been playing his ass off.
Yeah.
You know, he's utilizing more of his wide
His
receivers.
receivers. His
But I
arm's
just-
going to be
I-
dead by the end of the season.
Yeah, I just don't know if. I mean, I don't know. Do you have do they even have a lead on the Cowboys right now with that tie 3-3-1?
Yes.
So they do have the lead on them.
No, actually, I take it back. No.
Okay.
Cowboys are ahead with the
Okay.
4-3 record.
Okay. Okay. So what about in the like obviously the Saints-
Carolina, same thing. They're
Okay.
up on them.
I don't
4-3.
think. Okay, but I don't think
You don't think Carolina will? What about the Rams?
Rams. No, too late.
Okay.
I think they're offensively, they've just looked so bad because now we see that the
So you're
offense
kinda-
goes through Gurley.
Right.
It goes through Gurley, and the way they're not utilizing Gurley the way
Yeah.
they did the past 2 years, it's very very different for Jared.
They look
Goff
a little.
to-
They look a little confused back there. Like, who do we use for what situation? Gurley, Henderson, Brown. You've used all of them, but I think they're a little confused on when to use them. Like, in what situation is it best to use Gurley? When is it best to use Henderson? When is it best to use Brown? I don't know. It's just weird back there. It is to me. I mean, to me, from what I've seen.
I know, and then plus when you're at the goal line, actually not in the goal line. If I was McVay, I would place if you're in the red zone inside the 20, all snaps they're gonna go to Gurley.
Yeah.
All snaps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And obviously, when when it's third down, that's when you get him out and put in Henderson. or Brown.
Right.
You know, and I know that they want to load manage Gurley because of his knee, but I think Gurley just cares about winning. You know, even though like he knows about his injury, his knee and
Right.
stuff, about the arthritis stuff, like he just wants to win. So if you're at the red zone. Inside the 20, of course you're gonna have to put Gurley in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But offensively, without him, they just look terrible. They completely different team.
So you're kind of on a coin flip between Cowboys and I'm assuming the NFC North team and an NFC North team
Yeah.
because you're not going to pick somebody from the South because you're not picking Panthers.
No, I'm not.
And the West, you said the Rams, it's over. So
Mhm.
you're actually on a coin toss between the Cowboys and somebody in the Central. I mean, the North.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I'm leaning towards the Cowboys because I do not believe in Kirk Cousins, and just Matthew Stafford is the only one doing it all with his
Yeah,
wide
and by the
receivers.
time the playoffs come, his arm's going to be dead.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't know when Carry-On comes back.
Right.
So
right.
I'm just leading on the Cowboys. to
You know,
get
they
this
messed
spot.
up. They should have went after Drake.
I know.
Arizona snatched them. Speaking of that, I was just going to make a quick comment real quick. Kenyon Drake's game last night, unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this guy was so good, and I'm happy for him. And this is what I was talking to you guys about. This is exactly what I was talking to you guys about. Kenyon Drake had 110 yards rushing, okay? And then he had like 60 or 70 yards in the air,
Mm-hmm.
okay, with like 6 catches. He had a score. His first run out of the gate was a 36-yard run. His first touch as an Arizona Cardinal. This is exactly what I was talking to you about with this tanking business that Miami's going through. You have players who want to play the game,
Right.
and because they're tanking, they're just there to follow instructions. Whatever instruction their coach gives them, they have to follow.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what, look at this. Kenyon Drake's first touch, 36-yard run. He wants to play. And he finally got a chance. Unleash Kenyon Drake. You know, they unleashed him bad. And he went for it. He went ham. He was utilized the right way. I'm glad Kingsbury recognized how to utilize Kenyon Drake, because everything that Drake did, there was nothing negative on his play. It was so good. And this is what I was talking, like I said, this is what I was talking to you about, and I'm just so happy for Kenyon Drake. He finally got a chance to play.
Yeah. And it was. I think he was only. Of course, he was only there because Edmonds and
Johnson.
were out.
Yeah.
But now what's going to happen when they both come back?
Well, you gotta see it. In my opinion, David Johnson's not coming back. I think they're gonna put him straight to IR. I do.
Okay.
I do. I really do. Edmonds has 3 weeks to come back. So this was the right move for the Cardinals. This was the right move.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, they lost the game yesterday, but they did have 17 unanswered points or 18 unanswered points because Niners were up on them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I know it was a little too late to get their crap together, but they did eventually get it together. And they were just actually a drive away, from winning this game, because they could have actually won it if they would have stopped them it was a 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 9,
Right.
and Garoppolo ended up converting the third down at the last second. So he did. So they, but the Cardinals did give a valiant effort, and I'm just so happy for Kenyon Drake. He finally was able to play.
All right. Okay. So let's just get to your power rankings, Pop.
Yes,
1
power
through 10,
rankings
so
real
then I
quick.
could see,
Let me
whether
see
I
if you agree or
not.
disagree. Here we go. We got all new teams. Some big moves. Some stay the same. I got number 10 at 5-3. I got the Houston Texans. I think they've been playing a lot better. They've been protecting Deshaun Watson. And their schedule does get a little bit here and there in the middle. So I feel like they're gonna be somebody to contend with, once crunch time comes along. So I have the Texans at number 10. Okay, so far.
Okay.
Number 9, 5-2. I got the Bills. The Bills, they're always right there in my rankings. 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. I feel like now the Bills, they haven't been the same explosiveness ever since Josh Allen got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the same, I don't think. I think he's been playing it safe.
Yeah,
They've been winning.
I was gonna ask you.
They have been winning, but not the way they were in the beginning of the year when they were like 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. But I feel like he's playing with just a little bit of fear, just a little bit. He's got to get over that. He's got to get out and be the quarterback who he was, because even his stat line has been dropping a little bit, and he's been running a lot less.
Yeah, because I was saying like their offense is very limited, because they only rely on the run game with.
Well, they had injuries. They had injuries
know.
too.
I know, but like I know that Josh Allen utilizes his wide receivers, which is great to see. But it's like they just rely on. I guess you could say they rely on the defense a little more than
Yes.
the offense, because,
Yes.
like I said, the offense is very limited. of what they can do.
But if you notice in the beginning of the season, they were putting up 30 points. They were putting up 30-something points, 28 points. But since week 5, since the injury, they've been putting up 16, 17, you know. It's only, and they haven't been playing like dominant defenses. They played the Jets on one of them, and so it wasn't really dominant defenses.
Right, I know.
But I just feel like since the injury, I think he wants to. I think it kind of like give him a little bit of a wake up call. So I think he's probably playing it safe.
Okay.
Number 8, they dropped. I think it has to do a lot with the Packers' loss. It was the Chiefs. I have him still at number 8. Matt Moore did keep up. We were talking about it, and he was keeping up with Aaron Rodgers. Great game. It was a great game, but I do have them down at number 8. At number 7, one of the teams that beat the Chiefs are the Colts. I have them at number 7 at 5-2. Number 6, I have them 6-2. Vikings. I have the Vikings at number 6. I know that look on your face. You do not like the Vikings up there. What can I say? They only have 2 losses, bro. 6-2. I got to put them up there. At number 5, I have the Seahawks. At number 5, and they've always been in the top 5. The Seahawks. Russell Wilson. We said it. He just wins. That's it. You know, you can't say anything more. Drew Brees back. Number 4, I got the Saints. They're at number 4 this week. With Drew Brees back, they still look good. I was a little skeptical about Brees coming back. I was hoping that he would stay out at least one more game because that was actually his deadline. But he decided to play a game early. Never lost stride, man. He threw for over 300 yards, 4 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns, something like that. So he still looks like the Brees of old. So I have him at number 4. Number 3, they went up. I have the Packers at number 3. Aaron Rodgers has been doing it without Devontae Adams, and he's been killing it. He's been killing it. All his receivers they were saying that in the past 2 games, all his receivers have averaged more than 50 yards each receiver, and there's like 7 of them. So that's unbelievable. So he's been doing it with all 7 receivers. So he's spreading the ball out more, and I feel like Aaron Jones has come up huge for him. And Jamal Williams. Those are his 2 biggest assets right now in that team.
Yeah,
so
they even, like you said, like they won it without Devontae Adams.
Right.
And now they're utilizing the best 1-2 punch in the combos.
I agree. I think so. I think Jamal Williams and Adam and Aaron Jones could be actually kind of like Kamara and back then Mark Ingram. So I give them the number 3 spot. The only 2 undefeated teams, bro. Number 2, I got the Niners. They're 8-0. What can I say? Their defense is killing it. Their offense is killing it. I liked yesterday's game because I had my doubts about the Niners air game, Garoppolo shut my ass up. 316 yards, 4 TDs, all in the air. They only had
now they got a true number 1 wide receiver.
Exactly. Now that they've signed up Emmanuel Sanders. Amazing game he had. He's had. Is that his first game?
Second.
It's a second because I remember the first game too that he played. He did outstanding too. So
here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. The first game that he only had 4 receptions. I don't know the targets. I just don't know the number of targets that he had. It could probably be like maybe 5, or maybe he caught all 4 of his targets. But I know he had 4 receptions. The thing was he only had 25 yards and a touchdown. Okay. And then what kind of just like not persuading me that okay, they're still not going to be airing the ball like the way how I'm seeing it. They're still going to be running it with Coleman, Breida, and Mozart. But after this game, dude, like, and I think it's just game planning. Probably I could be wrong. Game planning. They could still like okay, this defense sucks. Not even trying to guard these wide receivers, so we're gonna throw the ball at them.
Yeah, the Cardinals do have one of the worst defensives in the air, and they do have one of the best defenses on the ground.
Right.
But you know what? Same thing with Carolina last week. they had a good defense on the ground, and Coleman ran all over him. So that's why I don't know how they do
Okay.
it, with game
Game
plan
planning.
or not.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah, I was on the same. I was. It's crazy how we think the same. I was on the same page as you. I saw the game and I was thinking, man. I mean, I've seen the Niners play, and I'm thinking the same thing as you. Like, man, they
Throw
don't
the
pass
ball.
the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, is Garoppolo really scared, or he just can't throw? Because I saw a couple of games where Garoppolo threw the ball. He looked terrible. He looked terrible.
Preseason.
No, I mean regular season. He looked
Okay.
bad. He just
Yeah.
looked bad throwing the ball. I mean, I was even telling him, dude, run the ball, dude. Like give the ball. You're getting 8 yards, 12 yards a game. Run the damn ball. But then yesterday, yeah, he looked outstanding. He looked very focused. He looked those spirals were coming out tight, dude, tight spirals. So he throws for over 300 yards, 4 TDs, and they're my number two. And
Yeah, I
of
think
course,
he's 14-2 as a starter.
yes,
I think
14-2, unbelievable. I didn't even know that.
I know.
Unbelievable. He's 14-2. Number one, of course, the Patriots. With the Cleveland Browns victory last week, I feel like they did everybody a little bit of justice. All these thinkers like ourselves in the beginning of the season that the Browns were going to make the playoffs, and the Browns were like a gift from God, that all these players were coming down, wanting to play for Cleveland, win a Super Bowl for them, win one for I don't know who the hell to win one for, but they just showed how bad they were. Regardless of who you are, the Patriots defense is going to stomp on you. Another score, and I believe they scored again. The
Yeah, they did.
defense, insane. Both sides of the ball. So that's how I have my top 10 this week.
Okay, so who do you have in your? Okay, so why? Okay, so why I said that? Okay, so 3 times already. Okay. The thing I would have the Texans over. Oh, you know what? I would put them at number 8.
You would put them at 8, and then
Yeah.
drop the Chiefs at 9 and the Bills at 10.
Yeah. Because Deshaun Watson did this amazing play.
When he got kicked in the eye.
Got kicked in the eye.
Oh my God.
Looked for Fells. One eye open.
No,
threw the
actually,
ball
he
at
didn't
him.
look for nobody. He
He
actually
saw
saw,
Fells.
yeah, he saw a dark jersey and threw it there. No, that was a good play. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because they're both 5-3, and I was actually juggling between them two, but man, I just feel the Chiefs. I just feel the Chiefs with Matt Moore. I don't think they're gonna lose much.
Well, if
I
you
really
could go
don't.
Matt Moore utilizes Travis Kelce more than Mahomes did. Okay?
Yeah, because he's white.
Wow.
No, I just felt like the Chiefs. Yeah, I think they're just a little bit better, and more talent wise. I mean, I understand Watson, but Watson just hasn't found his groove yet. I think not yet. I mean, he had in the beginning of the season, then he lost it because he was getting hit a lot. But now, like I said, like we were talking about earlier, like they're starting to do something right to protect them. So I just
I don't
hope
know if you didn't know. They actually traded for the Dolphins left tackle. Tunsil.
So they got
a
somebody.
new left tackle. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they needed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that. Obviously, I didn't know that. So yeah, that would explain why he's getting protected more. So good for Houston, and hopefully they can keep that up.
Yeah, or else he's might become Andrew Luck.
Exactly.
And we don't want
Exactly.
that. Star quarterbacks.
Yeah.
We all know that Brady, Ben, Rivers, Manning, Breeze. I think those are about it, huh? Like the
Who's had long careers in the NFL? Yes.
Yeah, and they're all going to be retiring sooner or
Right.
later. And now we have quarterbacks like Mahomes, Watson, Goff, Ertz, Wentz,
Lamar
Prescott,
Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. Like we want the new generation of quarterbacks.
Yeah, we want to look forward to watching them, just like we did Breeze. Like I said, you ended up seeing the last years of Breeze, and that's what we want to do. We want to watch these quarterbacks, and you want to watch a whole 20 years or 15 to 18 years, So, yeah, protect the quarterback.
All right, pal. Now it's time for these pick'ems. So what's the records on?
Okay,
last
well, I can't say last week. The last record we have was actually week, I want to say week 7, in which we picked our games. Let me just make sure of that. Yeah, it was week 7 because we gave one extra to Vinny.
Oh yeah, the Lions.
Remember,
and the
Lions
Vikings.
and Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that week, man, I'm killing it. I went 4-1
Wow.
that week. Vinny, with his 6 games, he didn't have 5. He had 6 because we
of the
picked them.
extra one.
He went 3-3. He went 500.
Okay.
And you're bringing up the rear, 2-3 on that week. So that's who we had. That's what we had on that week. So let's move on to this week's games. And talk to me, boy. What do you want your game to be?
Let's go with the London game.
All right. We've got Jacksonville and Houston.
Yeah, let me get. You know what? Let me get the Jacksonville.
You're gonna go with Jacksonville.
Yeah, because for some reason
They are the London team. They're
Yeah.
playing on their home turf.
Yeah, they're actually 3-3 at London. So let's get them a dub over 500 in this one. Also, weird shit happens when the teams they go out of the country.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
I could give you an example.
Raiders, Bears.
Yeah, like
Who would have thought the Raiders would put a pounding on the Bears like that?
And then let's go disco dancing. I don't know. I gotta show you those. I gotta show you like the celebration videos.
Yeah, I gotta see those videos.
Watch. Okay, so let me take Jacksonville in this one.
I'm surprised you took Jacksonville, Junior. I'm gonna go with Houston.
Of course, that's
I'm
why
gonna go with
I
Houston.
need to
You
do
need-
head to
yeah,
head against
okay,
you, so he's
okay.
gonna lose.
So I'll let Vinny. I'll let Vinny decide when he gets home who he's picking. I'm gonna take it to the next one. I'm gonna go Kansas City Chiefs versus your Vikings. Junior, who do you got in that game? And they're in KC.
What time is that game?
It is a 1:00 game.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I take it back. It's a 10:00 game in the morning. That's a morning game.
Oh, it's the morning game. Okay, so
Mhm.
1 Eastern.
Yes. And I think that's going to be a shootout, brother. I have a feeling it's going to be a shootout.
Who's at home?
Kansas City.
Let me go with the Vikings because Kansas City sucks ass at home.
You are going with the Vikings.
They can't
Okay.
win. The Kansas City Chiefs cannot win at home. They're 0-3 at home. But
Okay.
they're like 5-0 on the road. That shit does not. They're like the national.
You know what, Junior? I'm going to give you an opportunity to catch up. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I'm a believer of Matt Moore. I feel like they have to win this game.
Okay.
They have to. They cannot lose this game. They can't go 5-4. They cannot go 5-4. That's the only reason why I'm picking them. Andy Reid is going to pull out everything to win that game.
Okay.
That's desperation mode. So I think that's the only reason why I'm picking that game. Let's move on. Let's go down. Let's go down and just do picks random. These don't have to be the games that we pick, but if you want them to, they could be. We got Chicago at Philly. What do you think of that game?
I think we would probably go with the same ones. It don't matter on this one, but we'll go with this one.
You want
let's
this
do
one
this one,
to be
yeah.
a choice?
It's up
I
to
said
you.
no. I said no.
No?
I was just picking random games that we can talk about, and then we can do our picks if we both decide that that's a game to pick.
Oh, okay.
See, I don't
well-
care about this one, but I just wanted to see what your opinion was about it.
Oh, well, the Chicago Bears, their kicking game needs to be more. Actually,
oh my
more.
God, that was terrible last week.
More of a clincher because the Chargers just. I don't know how they just lucked out on that one.
They
and
did
even,
luck out.
And
They
even
did
like
luck out.
we like I even always say like you do need a little bit of luck in football, but this
That was
one,
total luck.
Uh.
That was total luck, dude.
Yeah.
That was like total luck.
Yeah,
But-
a 41 yarder, and I thought they were actually going to keep going, like actually keep running the ball with
Yeah.
Montgomery to at least gain some yards.
I
and
know.
It was funny because I was talking to Ray.
They let the clock run
run
out.
out. And I was telling Ray, like, fuck, dude. And he goes, dude, I'm not worried about it. Pinero's gonna mess up. I'm like, no, I want them to win because I was like, man, I hate the Chargers. I want the Chargers to lose.
Right.
But
No, I
he
feel the
goes
same way.
Pinero.
I felt the Chargers just that was pure luck. That was a game for them to lose.
Right.
So, yeah, clutch kicker, please. Somebody get one in the Chicago organization. Colts Steelers. I have the Colts, of course. They're gonna win this game. What do you think?
Like you said, Doyle, Ebron, Pascal, and Campbell. They're the ones that are going to be making up for the
loss of
Hilton.
Yeah.
And plus their defense, like I said, entering November.
Even Hines has been coming up.
They've been utilizing Hines too?
Yeah. He on the third down, every third down, I see him out there. So that's the Colts definitely. A meaningless game, Jets Dolphins. I really actually don't see. I don't know. There's been a lot of drama with the Jets. Have you heard about that lately?
Yeah, about Jamal Adams and
Le'Veon Bell
trying to get traded. Jamal Adams obviously gets hurt, but I think Le'Veon knows it's probably. Le'Veon already knows. Like he goes, like he didn't mind his name to be on the trade block, even though in the beginning of his signing, Adam Gase did not actually want him to sign it to a big contract.
Right.
Because probably he was thinking like, okay, I need more parts, more keys to my team.
You think anybody's gonna want that contract though? Nobody's gonna get Le'Veon Bell.
The Steelers were.
They were gonna pay him like that.
Yeah.
At least they have somebody.
I'm not sure if they were gonna pay him like that. But what I'm saying is that they were actually in talks with the Jets to bring Le'Veon back to Pittsburgh because James Conner and Benny Snell were out.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Wow.
But I don't know. Probably we both have the Jets winning on this one.
Yeah, definitely. Panthers Titans. That's actually a pretty good game, decent game. On paper, I like the way Tannehill has been playing, but
did they won last week?
Yeah, the Titans won.
Oh yeah, huh?
The Titans won last week. Yeah, I think I like the Titans in this one. Panthers, I think they're crumbling a little bit. They're not looking the same.
They just, I feel like they need Kyle Allen to throw the ball to his receivers.
Right.
I mean,
they're putting too much on McCaffrey. They're too predictable.
Yeah.
They're too predictable. They know that McCaffrey's going to get the ball either way. They know that he's going to get it either in the backfield or he's going to get it on the side. You know,
he needs to sling that ball.
Yeah, he's got to pass.
To
and he's got good receivers. Yeah. I don't see what the problem is there.
You know what? I'll take
that
the
one?
Panthers in this one.
Okay.
You could get the
So
Titans.
I'm going Titans on this one, and you're going to get Panthers. Okay.
How many you got? 3?
Yeah, that's 3.
Okay.
And then we have the Bills Redskins. Of course, we have the Bills, I think.
Yeah.
Bucks Seahawks. I got Seattle. I got Seattle in that one. What do you think? Is it that difficult for you? Because the Bucks are pretty good, huh?
I know, but they only lost close games. They lose to close games. You know what? Let me go with the Bucks. They're at Seattle.
Go Bucks in this one. Yeah, they're at Seattle.
Okay, yeah. I know they just recently acquired Josh Gordon, but I'm pretty sure that he's not.
No, I don't think he's playing.
Week.
I don't think he's playing this week.
Yeah. And I know that fucking Russell Wilson just wins.
Yeah.
But there's like this feeling that probably he'll just take this loss for this one. So I'll go with the Bucks.
So you want Bucks in that one?
Yeah.
Is that one of them?
That's one of them.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so when you know how we have that Sunday ticket, right?
Right.
Okay, the first game that I've always watched, I don't watch New England.
I do.
I know you do. But to me, it's like, okay, who are they going against?
I gotta see
the Jets
New England.
or whatever, and I'm like, okay, it's gonna be a fucking blowout. No, I watch a lot of Tampa Bay. No, Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Yeah. You know why? It's because of Choro Ball.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. I always watch him, and Jenny just watches him. Watches
Goodwin. Goodwin.
Yeah.
I mean Godwin.
And she just gets so mad when Evans goes off, and I'm like, like I'm always over here like.
She's over there in the corner because she's got
she's
Godwin
like,
on her
"Fucking
fantasy team.
Godwin," But yeah, but I think both of these guys are gonna. I think both of them, Evans and Godwin, are going to have huge games in this one.
Yeah, their defense has been lingering a little bit. Who did they play last week?
Seattle?
Yeah, that they lost. Oh, they lost to the Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah, the receivers had some good numbers. So I'm definitely going. I mean, on that one, I did pick the Seahawks. I am picking the Seahawks, but I remember that it's a pretty good pick for the Bucks. I mean, it can go either way, but I do like them at home. Lions Raiders. I think the loss of the backfield in this one, I gotta go Raiders.
Yeah, me too.
I gotta go
Me
Raiders
too.
on that one.
This is their.
It's gonna hurt them. The backfield, carry on being out is really gonna hurt them. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really look at it like that. I didn't think it was a big deal because I felt like the Lions use the backfield a lot less than any other team that I've known, but the Bucks do too. But it's hurting them.
They're 3-5, right?
No, they're
Raiders?
3-4. The Raiders.
Okay. You know, I just want you to listen to this, okay? You know, this is their first home game in 6 weeks.
Where have they played?
They played on the road, and they played at London. On the road. And this is their first game back home in 6 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And they're 3-4.
They're going to go off in this
They're
one.
3-4.
Wow. That's crazy. I didn't know that, Junior. That's an eye-opener. I'm pretty sure some Raider fans didn't even know that either.
I'm pretty sure.
No, I'm pretty sure majority of them did, but I'm saying some Raider fans, they might have not realized that.
Yeah, they've
That's a
been
good
on
point.
the road so
That's a good
long
point.
for 6 weeks.
Wow. So how many games do they have at home? I mean, I'm sure they're going to stay at home for a little bit, right? Maybe like
7
2 or
games. Like, they have 7 games at home, but one of them, I think the Bears, you know, when they went
Bears
at
London,
they called it a home
considered that. Wow, that's ridiculous.
game. Yeah,
Wow, poor Raiders. But I have them winning.
me too.
I have them winning against the Lions. Chargers, got the Packers.
Yeah, Devontae
course.
Adams coming back probably this Sunday.
I hope so, man.
I hope so too, because
I hope so.
Uh,
Cleveland Broncos. Now, this is a game that you said that because Broncos had a backup quarterback coming in. So no Flacco.
no Flacco.
What's the matter with him?
I think he has a neck injury.
Okay.
He had a disc. I don't know, probably in his back of his neck or something.
Okay.
All I know is that I don't think that he's coming back this year. And
So you really
Cleveland-
feel with everything that's been going on
with Cleveland?
with Mayfield? No, I'm talking about Baker Mayfield.
Oh, Baker itself.
All that drama with the reporter
Press.
and all that, the press. You feel like he's gonna be all right? Like, you feel the Browns could win this game? Because I don't know. I mean, if the Broncos just give the ball, all they gotta do is give the ball to Lindsey. But you were talking about the Browns defense playing
Slaughtering.
real well, yeah. So who knows how this could go?
Oh, are you taking Broncos?
I think so, bro. At Mile High, even with a backup quarterback, as bad as the Browns have been playing, I gotta go Broncos on this one.
Okay, let me get the Browns on this one.
You want one of the one?
If it's up to you.
Yeah, I'll take this
Okay.
one. Yeah, I'm gonna go Broncos on this one, and you're gonna go Browns.
Yeah.
That's kind of good because I really didn't want to make the Patriot Ravens one of our pick games because I think it's a curse. I think it will curse our team. I really do. So I'm glad we picked the Browns and Broncos.
Back then when we did this, like with the Madden games and stuff, I have chosen teams over New England that I felt like, all right, I think this is.
No, I have as well. I mean, it's only common sense. You know, we can't. I mean, Patriots Ravens. I said from the very beginning, this is the game that to me
it's gonna
is the closest loss.
Okay.
No, this is the closest loss to me.
Okay.
If we were doing our picks, I would probably pick the Patriots. I would, but in the back of my mind, I'd be thinking like,
feeling, huh?
damn, like I shouldn't have picked them because this is the game that I was talking about earlier. That I feel this is the only game, in my opinion, that we can lose.
Right.
That we can lose. It's gonna be a great game, man, and you better get your ass over here to watch it.
I know.
You better, dude.
I am.
You got to.
9 weeks already. I haven't even come here for a New England game with
you haven't.
I know.
Damn,
because
bro.
everything's been a blowout game.
Cowboys Giants.
I have the Cowboys in this one coming back.
And the Giants always give them a hard time though, but I don't think this year. I think it's going to be the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Dak went off on them on the first game between them. He had over 400 yards. I'm hoping he has the same thing. But you know what? In that game as well, Manning went off.
I know it was a close game.
It was a close game. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I feel the Cowboys are still going to win.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's going to be a lot closer than everybody thinks, even with Daniel Jones.
Yeah. For some reason, like, Daniel Jones has been, I mean, I know he hasn't worked with anything yet, like in that New England game, for example.
Uh-huh.
It was close until the very end of, like, the fourth quarter. That's when it just slipped away from them. Saquon back, Barkley back. I'm sorry, Saquon back and
Tate.
Ingram.
And Tate.
Ingram, Tate, Shepard coming back.
And that kid, Darius Slayton, he's been really good.
So he has all of his weapons. But I still think just the Cowboys.
You know what Daniel Jones reminds me of? And it's sad to say. I mean, I don't even want to compare him to him. But here, and I hope I'm wrong. But no, I don't think he'll turn into this guy. But so far in the season, he reminds me of Jameis Winston.
But he doesn't throw a lot of picks.
He throws a gang load of yards.
Oh,
but he loses.
Oh,
but he loses.
I thought you were talking about like him as
no, not as far as
turnover
picks.
wise.
No, like he'll give you like 3 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 300 yards, but he'll lose.
Oh, okay.
He loses, but he gives you good numbers.
Because that defense is pretty terrible.
Yeah, the defense is bad. They just got to work on that defense, man. In the offseason, I hope they do because the Giants. Well, actually, I don't because they've been a thorn in our ass like all this time. That's why I don't fear them this season. I told you.
I know.
I have no fear of the Giants this year. So, yeah.
All right, guys, and that's it for today's show. Okay, so quickly, who's in the lead for this?
Okay, I'm gonna read the scores real quick.
Just the wins.
Okay. You are 12-13.
Okay, that's
Okay.
below 500.
Vinny is 16
Okay, so I'm already 4 games.
and 9.
16 and 9?
16 and 9. Okay.
Okay.
I am
6,
17
2, 4.
and 8.
Okay, so you're in the lead. Vinny has only a game behind.
Game behind.
I'm
And you are dead
5
last, bro.
5 games.
You're like not even 500. You're 12-13.
Okay. All right. That pool is going to be fucking cold.
Damn, it is. It sure is, especially in January, brother.
All right. All right, so we'll see you. We'll get to it next week as well. So we'll see how these games go this weekend. And then next weekend we'll do new picks, new power rankings. And we'll see if New England would be the first to fold or not. To be continued.
Yeah, I don't think so, but we'll see.
All right, guys. Good night.
Everybody, good night.